I never thought I'd see this, but a 10-foot section of rebar costs almost $1 less than a 4-foot section of rebar? Looks like it's time to learn how to cut rebar. Let's get started. If you're in the home light display hobby, you're probably familiar with rebar. I use it to anchor down my yard props and driveway arches and provide a little strength against the winds that want to carry off my display. I need a decent amount of 4-foot lengths and a few pieces of rebar that are 2 feet long. I also have used rebar this year to hang my painted PVC pieces to dry, as well as anchor a dead tree when I cut it down so it wouldn't hit my house. However, I'm in that age-old dilemma. Do I buy the 2-foot, 4-foot sections pre-cut, or do I buy the 10-foot rebar and cut it to measure? The prices of construction materials have been drastically fluctuating since 2020. Getting materials from your local home store like PVC and wood and rigid conduit have gone up significantly in the last 2 years. In January, the cost of a half-inch 10-foot rebar was $5.68 from my local big box store. It then jumped to $6.27 in April. Today, in December 2022, where I live in the Midwest, a 2-foot section is $4.25. A 4-foot section is $6.38. But a 10-foot section is $5.48, almost a full dollar less than the 4-foot section. I can get 2 4-foot sections and 1 2-foot section from a 10-foot rebar if I could cut it to length. Well, how can I cut rebar? Let's start off with how not to cut rebar. Necessity is the mother of invention. So when I first started to cut rebar, I used the tools that I had at hand. I had a circular cutting tool, and I also had a metal cutting wheel. I just decided to give it a try and said, okay, let's see if this will cut through rebar. And sure enough, after a few passes, I was able to cut through the rebar. So I figured, okay, I'm able to cut through rebar. I should be able to make this happen. Well, after cutting through my first chunk of rebar, I noticed that the wheel started to grind down significantly. In fact, you can kind of see here what a full wheel looks like and what the stages of deterioration for that cutting wheel. Now, also, it took forever to cut through rebar. I think I could cut through 3 rebar in about an hour and a half, 2 hours, because I would take my time and rotate the rebar and make sure that I cut all the way through, around the rebar and continually deeper and deeper until I cut all the way through. And I noticed that I can only effectively make 6 cuts through half-inch rebar. And so that works out. If I wanted to cut the 10-inch, if I wanted to cut the 10-foot rebar into 2 4-foot sections and 1 2-foot section, that would be 2 cuts. If I could get reliably 6 cuts out of a wheel before I couldn't use it anymore, it got too small that I couldn't even get into the rebar, then it would take then I could easily handle 3 10-foot rebars with a single wheel. When I bought a kit for $20, I figured it's 10 wheels in a kit for $20, so that's about $2 a wheel. So $2 for being able to get 6 4-foots and 3 2-foots. That was worth the cost of buying the kit and just spending my time. I also found this on a YouTube channel, a really ingenious way on how do I keep the sparks out of my eyes. At first, I was able to use eye guards to make sure that this kicks up a lot. The cutting metal really kicks up a lot of sparks, so I always had to make sure I was wearing eye gear and even some gloves in order to make sure that the sparks were out of my face. And online, if you take a 20-ounce Mountain Dew bottle and cut a hole in the cap and kind of cut out the bottle like this, you can make yourself a de facto shield. You could attach that onto your cutting tool and be able to work it, and the sparks would stay in the shield, and I wouldn't have to be so careful about the eyewear or the handwear or getting metal shavings everywhere. So this worked out for most of the rebar that I cut. I finally got tired of that and said, there's got to be a better way to cut rebar. I don't necessarily want to go out and buy another tool, but hopefully there's some creative ways to use it. And I've stumbled across a couple videos, and I'll link to those in the description, for using a circular saw. I happen to have a circular saw here, and they have masonry and metal circular blades. So I got the cheapest one I could find. I think this is about $6 or $7, and I gave it a try. And this was so much faster. I can't tell you how fast it was. I was able to cut rebar within seconds. I went from cutting rebar, from it taking me like an hour and a half to cut 3 or 4, to a couple seconds to cut 1. I also learned from the YouTube video that I didn't have to cut all the way through the rebar. All I needed to do was take the circular tool and make a pass, and cut a little nick out of it, rotate it a little bit, cut another nick, rotate it, cut, until I had nicks all the way around, and it was held together by this kind of metal core. I could then take the rebar and kind of bend it and snap it off. And I didn't really care about making like a factory edge to the rebar, because it was just going to get pounded into the ground anyway. So I was not getting graded on style points. So I could also save the life of this circular blade, that I didn't have to cut. I didn't have to spend my time cutting all the way through. And I'll post like a little video here. That leads me to another thing, is that I also found in my quest to figure out what the best thing was for rebar, I also found this material called PinkBar. That's over at Lowe's, and I wanted to compare it to how does it. You can kind of see it lives up to its name. It's actually pink, and what it really is. So where rebar is steel, what PinkBar is compressed fiberglass. It's very rigid. It's almost like rebar. I mean, it's very strong and sturdy, and it costs the same for a 10-foot section of rebar as a 10-foot section of PinkBar as it does for rebar. So the price is similar, but you don't need a cutting tool like this. You can just use like a regular hacksaw and just kind of hack your way through it, and that's a huge thing if you don't have any circular tools. It also is lighter than rebar, so I can tell by lifting this that the rebar is, I don't know if I would say twice as heavy as the PinkBar, but it's definitely heavy. Now, this could be a pro and a con for us hobbyists. When I want weight, I want to pound this into the ground and I want it to be sturdy, or I want rebar to weigh stuff down. PinkBar is definitely lighter. It's good for storing. It doesn't have to be so heavy and cumbersome when I store things, but it definitely has a disadvantage there, or it has an advantage in storage, but maybe not as heavy and hold up to, if the wind is trying to blow away my display. Now, the other thing that's a disadvantage is that if you can see here, I'm trying to pull this back and kind of focus it up a bit, is that because it is plexiglass, when we're trying to do things like hammer stake into the ground to hold up, it is plexiglass. So if I hammer too hard, the plexiglass on the top will start to split and split apart and kind of fracture here. So I can't hammer it too much, otherwise it'll start deteriorating at the end. Also, you notice that I'm wearing a glove, and that's to protect my hands, because this is fiberglass. If you've ever dealt with blown insulation or rolled insulation that's fiberglass, you know that with metal rebar I can use my hand without any protection and it should be fine. But if I was to do this and hold onto this, I'll get little splinters of glass in my fingers, and that's not cool. So if you have any concerns about that, then PinkBar is not your thing. But if you don't mind, if you want to use a regular hacksaw to cut this and you want to store it because it's lighter, PinkBar may be a valid option for you. This concludes this video on how to cut rebar and how not to cut rebar, unless you have to. Thanks for watching.